If you're one of my 5 faithful subscribers, you know I don't throw away anything, and I always find a use for stuff. And today we're going to take all this old chain that I've had just sitting around, and we're going to use it to increase our security. Throughout history, whenever possible, men have chosen their home sites, whether it be a castle or a farm or a ranch or a western fort. They've chosen their home sites with an eye to security, a place that's defensible. And we don't really do that these days, not here in this country, in America. Many of us live in neighborhoods. Many of us, even though we live in the country, we choose it for beauty and cost, availability. Now, I live in a gorgeous place, and I bless my daddy for that. He slowly bought up this land, probably in 5 parcels, 6 parcels over time, bought other people out to get the 3 acres I've got here on the water. And I love it here. But I realize that this bayou that I live on presents a security problem in any kind of SHTF situation. Not only do I have to use the land and the obstacles of the woods and the swamp, I've got to use this waterway as a portion of my security plan. And I've got to take into account the fact that this bayou is a road. And it's a way for someone to access my castle. So, what we're going to do today is we're going to look at building waterway barriers, or log jams, or log booms, or whatever it is you call it, so that we could stop a boat that wanted to come up this bayou if we had to. I've thought a lot about how I would block boats if it ever came to that, where I felt like I needed to secure the bayou from strangers coming up. And what I've hit on is a log boom or a log jam. And what I mean by that, if you're not familiar with it, imagine pieces of log. You cut down a tree, I don't know, say 8-inch, 10-inch diameter, connected by chain. And these are floated in the bayou. So you got a waterway and you've got logs floating, connected by chain across this waterway. And they're big enough that they would deter whatever size boat you think might be able to come up there. I think that they used a large version of this on the Hudson during the Revolutionary War, to keep the British from coming farther up the Hudson River to attack West Point. I'm not sure it worked. They did something like that. Now, here in this bayou, I'm thinking that 8 or 10-inch logs would work. And my plan is to go ahead and get the chain cut and have it, set aside with whatever hardware I think I'm going to need, in this case large U-nails, to build this thing, and then worry about the logs when we come to that. I mean, if God forbid we ever get to a place where I feel like I need to block off that bayou, I would go cut down a tree or telephone poles, for that matter, because what good would they do in that kind of situation where I am so concerned about my safety that I have to do that? Most likely we're talking about a serious end of the life as we know it, and telephone poles are probably no longer of much use as intended. So whatever I use, whether I cut down a tree out in the bayou, or God forbid even one here on my property, or a telephone pole, I'm thinking 8-10 inch diameter, and then probably 4 feet, 3 feet to 4 feet long poles or logs, and then connecting them with links of chain. Where I want to be able to employ this log boom would be far enough away from my property that I have time to respond should a boat come. Let's say, let's grab a new piece of paper here. Okay. Let's say my property ends here. And this is a pretty good idea of what it looks like coming in from the bay. I would want to employ my log jam so that I have enough distance. Let's say I'm defending from here, that when the boat comes around, I slow and stop its progress, and I can take that craft under fire, or at least make them realize that I have them under my gun. So at those places, the bayou's about 20 to 23 feet wide. So I'm going to, if I have enough chain here, I'm going to make enough chain that I can employ 2 of these at that location. And then, of course, I've got to worry about upstream. And once again, there's a turn right up there where I would employ it. And once again, I would want to employ it so that here on my dock, I could take them under fire. So what I've got to do basically is I've got to cut all this chain up with the angle grinder, and I don't know, pieces of say 2 feet long, and I'm going to pair them up. And that's pretty much all I can really do right now. I can do this, cut it all up, get all the hardware together, put it in a bucket, and that's the end of the prep, because I can't go, or it makes no sense to go building an actual log jam or waterway barrier now and have it sitting out there rotting. So anyway, this is just a little exercise, taking you through the prep that I'm doing. Going to use up all this chain I've had just sitting around, this rusting away. Although ugly as it is, it's still pretty strong. Alright then, that didn't take long, and I have 15 sets of chain, which by my calculations I would be able to possibly make 3 different lengths of barrier or log jam across the bayou. And I also have these pieces from an old swing set, and I hold on to them in their regular lengths because I've got to have something to tie to the shore. Now, about how to do that. There are a couple places where there's posts, and I could of course put posts in, but I'm guessing that most likely what I would do, if we got to this situation where I felt like I needed to get ready to deploy these barriers, what I would do is take one of the boats over, dig into the mud there on the other shore, or on either shore, and bury cement blocks with chain attached to them. Cover them back over, and I tell you what, you bury something in this mud and that mud sucks it down. And I think the pull, I think that would be a pretty good anchor. So, like I said, the plan would be that you would put them in, you deploy them so that you can see when a boat comes up to them. If you put them around the other side of the bend, a boat can come up to him and he has time to negotiate, and he's undercover so that he can negotiate through or over the obstacles. But the point is to slow down a boat or stop him so that you can then take him under fire. Same thing going this way. Now, I understand that most, if not all, of my 5 faithful subscribers do not have this security issue. But I do, and I have to deal with it. So that probably means this doesn't pertain to anybody and won't be a very interesting topic for you, because it doesn't give you any ideas or any answers to your security issues. And I apologize for that. But it is a security problem I need to deal with, because while this bayou is a barrier for the Mongol hordes wanting to come across this way, at the same time, it's a road, as I said, and I have to be ready to defend it. Okay, thanks for watching and listening. Stay safe.